before we sign off from all the action, I do want to throw one more fight at you, and that's going to be next week's fight. It's going to be an interesting matchup that will be on DAZN as well. That's November 8th from Texas, and that is the 154-pound interim champion for the WBC, Vergil Ortiz Jr., and he's going to be putting his title on the line versus Erickson Lubin. So, interesting matchup. Lubin's been KO'd twice before in the past, once to Jamel Charlo, once to Sebastian Fundora. He's on a couple fight win streak now, getting another crack at it for the title. And Vergil Ortiz flying high after his most recent win versus Israel Madrimov. A fight that, if he gets through this, might lead to much, much bigger names and fights, and maybe even a Boutinas. So, anyway, just want to hear your thoughts. Preview Lubin versus Ortiz.
But like you said, Lubin's been stopped twice. All right, but I think he's in a good place now. This is a guy that he turned pro young. He skipped the Olympics. He was actually thought of as a favorite to, if he would have went into Olympics, he was one of the favorites to win a gold. He decided to not wait for the Olympics. He went with Top Rank. He turned pro. He was young, and he was supposed to be the next star. And it didn't quite work out. He still got a chance to do that, though, now later in his life, later in his career, at an age that he thought it would probably be, he probably figured he'd be finishing up his career, and a career that did all the star stuff early, instead of now looking to grab some of that late. But sometimes you need the experience. Your journey is different. You think a guy's going to be a top amateur. You think a guy's going to go pro, and he's going to grab all the laurels. He's going to win a title, and it doesn't go that way. And Top Rank got rid of him. They saw it, they dumped him, and then he was on a whole different journey. But he still had the talent somewhere in there that people had seen when he was younger, when they thought he was going to win Olympics, when Top Rank, a big organization like them, signed him, thinking they had a future world champ. And again, it doesn't pan out. But he loses those fights. But here he is. And he's in a pretty good place. Now, I remember calling his fights on Friday Night Fights when he turned pro with Top Rank. And I didn't think that he was what everyone was saying he was. I didn't. I said he's a little one-dimensional. He stands straight up. You can catch him. And I thought he was going to have a problem. Obviously, he did. But now he's got himself at a place where he's a veteran who still has talent, who's obviously got all that experience, and it's not a complete close your eyes. I like Ortiz in this fight. I'm not laying 1,000 to 1. I'm not doing that. But I like Ortiz to win this fight. And I think that Ortiz can stop him. But I think Lubin can be dangerous. I think Ortiz gets hit. And there will be spots there for Lubin, who's a pretty good counterpunch. He's a southpaw. He can punch pretty good. He throws educated combinations. He places his punches. He don't just chuck them. He places them to certain spots. He'll place a body shot. He'll place an uppercut. There will be opportunities to catch Ortiz. Ortiz got dropped a couple fights ago, twice, in his fight against Bohorchuk. And something happened in that fight. He got dropped. That's what happened, Teddy. Yeah, that's part of it. But then he changed. Instead of just being the Terminator, he boxed. He showed the ability to use a jab, to use his legs, good hand speed, put punches together. He showed the dimension to box, which in the past he had only been the Terminator. Come get the guy, go to the body, blow him out, go home. And that's what makes this an interesting handicapping fight for me. Really, very interesting, Bud, because you got Victor Ortiz, who you can hit, Lubin, who's been stopped twice, who's definitely in the later part of his career, He can punch. He's got a chance to catch Ortiz. So I'm gonna say this. I think there's a chance he catches Ortiz in the early part of the fight, where he could catch him something and possibly hurt him. I think Ortiz has a lot of heart. I saw his resiliency. If I had to bet, I would say he overcomes it. But there is a chance for the great, huge upset by a knockout for Lubin early, just to catch him because he does get caught. When I give my analysis towards the pick of the fight, I will go with Ortiz. But here's my real question, and I don't know if it's a dilemma, but this is my question when it all comes down to. Ortiz showed me he can box. His last two fights, he didn't get knockouts. Everything before that was a knockout. Matrimov and Bohocek didn't get knockouts. I loved what he did and the way he showed heart, the way he came back against Bohocek with Matrimov, the way he went and became the old Vergil Ortiz again to a certain extent. He started out slow, then he got into gear, he pressed the fight, he went to the body, he put together some real good offense. Unbelievable. But he got hit. He got hit in between. If he could get hit with him, he could get hit with Lubin. That's my one cloud hanging over this whole thing. And it comes down to this. For Teddy Atlas, the $1 million question. Now that Ortiz has shown the ability to have options, not to just be the seek and destroy, guy that goes and just gets you out of there, that he can do other things. What does he do? Which one's going to show up? Is he going to box? Is he going to go and be the old Ortiz that you saw in spots in Matrimov, where he's going to go and try to get the guy out of there? I think he's going to go and try to get the guy out of there. He's going to try to get Lubin. He showed me in the Matrimov fight that he likes to still be that guy. He's proud. He's sure of himself. He's going to press you. He's going to go throw that left hook to the liver. Whoa, that's some punch. He's going to throw that left. He even go to the. He's got Robert Garcia doing a great job with him, training. He'll go to the other side. Garcia's going to make sure he do both sides. Don't do just the left. Do the right too. He's going to do both sides. He's going to look to put punches together. I think he will be that Ortiz that fights in those cloud bursts of punches. And when those cloud bursts of punches come, usually there ain't no umbrella at the end standing there. The umbrella's been swept away. Everything's been swept away, usually. I think if that rain burst comes, I think you have a chance to sweep away Lubin. But with that rain burst comes the danger, while he's throwing that rain burst of punches, of getting caught. That could be interesting. That could be. So maybe you do a little savor. You say, Lubin, maybe you put a little, peanut on Lubin, saying that there could be some danger in the first part of the fight, and just in case he catches him, which he could. And then at the end of the day, I know the over-under is about 9.5. And I know that it took Ortiz, it took Fundora 9 rounds to get to Lubin. I'm going to say it's going to take about the same amount of time for Ortiz to get to him. I'm going to say that if Fundora, who's a very busy guy, can get, it goes to the body well, can get to him in 9, I'm going to say 9.5. All right, give it to me. I'm going to take a risk and say Ortiz, gambling is a risk. I'm going to say Ortiz can get to him during the under, in that time period of the under. It could be, could be touchy, could be, a little bit iffy. It's gambling. But, and how could it be iffy for me? Where is my hesitation? Because if Ortiz decides to box, then it goes a little longer. Then they don't get rid of him. It's got to be that Ortiz that says, no, I'm getting in the freaking trench with him, and there's only one guy leaving the trench. That's me. If it's that guy, and even if I get hit, I'm still freaking staying in this trench until you're gone. And if it's that Ortiz, which I'm going to bet that it is, then I think that he probably gets rid of him somewhere before 9.5 rounds. But there could be a moment for Lubin, as I pointed out. That makes sense?